Okay, so this is our webinar. For the GLOBIT Wealth Academy, we have 3 webinars a week. We do at the moment anyway. That is Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. And these webinars are designed for our existing members and new people looking at getting started with the GLOBIT Wealth Academy. And for those of you who may not be sure exactly what we actually do, clearly, we help people to grow their capital, but specifically, we trade the financial markets. Now, to most people would say that sounds very complicated. And what do you mean when you say that you trade the financial markets? We trade 2 things specifically, because I believe that to do anything successfully, you have to specialize. And the financial markets is that big. Many people talk about Forex, commodities, shares, indices, options, futures contracts, all kinds of different aspects of the financial markets. But I simply trade 2 indices, and the indices are effectively, it's the plural term for an index. So an index is a basket of shares. You might have heard that expression before. It's a basket of shares. And the German index is called the DAX 30, and that represents the 30 most valuable companies in Germany by market capitalization. All public companies, of course, people like BMW and those kind of people. And we've got the same in the USA, which are the 30 largest companies in the USA by market capitalization. Now, of course, trading the financial markets, you normally think in terms of buying a share or shares. And of course, with that, you've got to know what share to buy, when to buy that share, how long to hold that share, and hopefully sell it for a profit. And to make any money with shares, you need a small fortune because you've got to buy them all. And you need some skill. Now, trading Forex or trading what we call the indices allows you to benefit from what we call leverage. So you imagine if for every £1,000 that you put into your trading account, you can trade with £100,000. That's like starting a business, a traditional business, and going to the bank manager, like we used to do many years ago, and say, I've got £1,000. Would you lend me the other 99,000 just to make it up to 100,000 because I want to go and buy this restaurant? No bank manager is going to do that. But when you're trading the financial markets, you can do that because you get leverage, okay? And we actually trade on a platform where we get 500 to 1. So that means for every pound that we're playing with of our money, we're playing with £500 of somebody else's money, okay? So that's how to make more money more quickly. But effectively, all we actually do is we look for positions on a chart where we feel that the value of the index is going to fall or where it's going to rise. And we don't hold on to the trade for typically more than maybe half an hour. I mean, that's amazing. Can you imagine? Can you imagine buying a share or shares and saying to, you know, maybe the stockbroker, I'd like to buy a share at 9:30. Could I sell it at 10 o'clock? Well, you know, that doesn't normally happen in shares. You normally buy it and sell it maybe 3 months later. And in the meantime, you've got to go and focus on working because you need some income. But with this, you can place a trade right now. And if you place a good trade, you can close it in 5 minutes or even 3 minutes and make a good profit. So basically, I started doing this many years. I probably started 20 years ago, 10 years ago, but 2 years ago, I decided to create a business out of this. And for those who've started a business, you know, it takes thousands of hours to get a business off the ground. You generally don't have the right skills or there's something missing and it just doesn't work. But now the business is coming together, this is ready to take off. And I was providing trading signals. I now provide what we call a robotic copy trading service, which means I trade on my master account and my trades get replicated on everybody else's platform. Now, if you'd like to know how successful that is, today has been a very, very quiet day, but it developed momentum later on in the afternoon to the point where all those people trading on their accounts using this robotic service saw a capital appreciation of around about 10% today. Okay, now if you think about what you would have to do to grow your capital by 10%, you would have to put it in a bank for maybe 10 years, or you'd have to do something quite magical with it to see 10%. People go and spend hundreds of thousands of pounds on property in the expectation that they might get 5% growth per annum. So, you know, why not get 5% per day, or 3% per day, or 2% per day? And why not follow what we're doing? So that's about all I've got to say, really. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to unmute you all. Now, I do have a PowerPoint presentation, but let me just tell you the logic of this. Let me tell you the logic of this presentation or this webinar. We've got a website. If you haven't written it down, it is www.globitwealthacademy.com. And on there, you can access an ebook. You can also access a video where I show my proof of income over 7 days. And you can also access 2 spreadsheets. One which lists every trade I've made on the DAX since last May, and another one where I list every trade I've made on the Dow. We've not been trading the Dow as long as we did the DAX, and the reason for that is originally I was trading the DAX, but then we had people in America getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to trade the DAX, and that's why I said, well, we better start doing the Dow. And as it happens, they seem to rhyme quite nicely, so we trade the DAX and the Dow. I quite like that. So if you tell anybody, you know, what you do or what we do, we trade the DAX and the Dow. For your information, I've also just started another business, which is a travel business, where I show people how to save up to 70% on their travel, where they have access to over 1 million hotels around the world, because I believe that with this business, we're going to show people how to create more income. And if you're going to have more income, they won't have to work so hard. They're going to have more free time. And if they have more free time, what they're going to want to do? Probably travel more. So how about combining trading with travel? That's even better. So you can take one of these, mobile phone, on a cruise or anywhere in the world. You might want to go skiing or sightseeing or whatever your type of holiday might be. You can save up to 70% when you travel with a price comparison with people like Expedia, and take this with you and have your account traded with the robot, so you're making money sitting on a beach. Isn't this what people are looking for? Mm. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. You know, people talk about making money with affiliate marketing and they have no skills. They talk about making money with Amazon and they have no skills. They talk about all these different schemes and scams online and they go and lose all the money. Of course, there's a risk with business. There always will be. But with this, all you have to do is make a payment, make 2 payments, in fact, one for the subscription and one to upgrade to the robot. And then you've got 5 forms to fill out. And once you've done that, you can be making money within 24 hours. Okay, so if you all decide tonight that you want to have your account traded tomorrow, then make those payments, pay your subscription, upgrade to the robot, fill out 5 forms, and your account will be traded tomorrow. You don't have to sit on it for 6 months or 6 weeks or 6 days or get confused. Just take action. What should we talk about now?
The weather.
The weather, exactly.
Sorry.
Because I'm not here to convince or persuade. I know we're all a bit challenged with technical things, but when I say that all you've got to do is make 2 payments and fill out 5 forms, if you make a big deal of this, it's only in your hands. It's not my doing. You know, the hardest thing was for me to create this business. The business is created. All you've got to do is make 2 payments, fill out 5 forms, and have your account traded. Of course, you've also got to fund your account. I'll tell you what we can do, because I can only see Tracy, who's got some experience on here. If you unmute your phone, Tracy, I've talked about making 2 payments and filling out 5 forms and funding your account. Can you just give them your personal experience? And because I say to people that with these kind of businesses, you might have heard this before, we quote what we call the 3 C's. If you write this down, C for Charlie, the 3 C's, if you talk to people about any kind of online business, the most you can hope from people is that that person might be curious. In other words, if you've got some kind of connection with that person and they respect you as a person and that kind of thing, then that person might be curious. But are they going to believe? No. Because nobody these days believes anything. But they might be curious. So congratulate yourself if you find somebody that's curious, because you won't get any more than curiosity. So what you have to do then is that person is looking to confirm that what you've told them is correct. Obviously, they want to know exactly what do they have to do, but more importantly, what they want to know is what you've told them, is it correct? And if so, what do they have to do, and can they do the same? And I've made it easy because I've created an ebook, and much of the content of the ebook is not particularly relevant, but I'm going to show you the ebook in a moment. And if you scroll to the back of the ebook to where it shows an image of a robot, and I've given the robot a name now, Tracy. I've called it GLOBIT. GLOBIT is our robot. And for your information, you don't have to call me GLOBIT, but I am the robot. Okay, so I do all the trading, and it robotically copies all those trades onto your account. But for the sake of the exercise, I'm calling the robot GLOBIT. And if you see the image inside the ebook, you'll see he's got a pair of peculiar looking eyes. And it's spelled GLOBIT. I thought that's quite a good name, GLOBIT.
Yeah.
Okay, so GLOBIT is the robot, and that's it. So yeah, if you just give them not a testimonial, but just give them in your opinion and your experience how it's worked for you, and what do they have to do to replicate what you've done, Tracy?
Well, I got introduced to Malcolm's trading a few months ago. I think it may have been around about October. Can't remember exactly. And I had a trial, but because I was working in a pharmacy in Bury, and I was travelling and getting ready in the morning, all the activity was like 7 till 9, and I really wanted to do it, but I found it so stressful because I'd be putting signals on and jumping in the shower and then getting out, and Malcolm might say close that signal, and I wouldn't be able to do it, or I'd be driving and, you know, round a roundabout, need some market execution, and I'd be devastated that I couldn't put the trade on at the right time. And anyway, time went by and I thought, oh, it's not for me. I'm not going to be able to do this. But I was still in the group where people chatted, even though I wasn't getting the signals, and I kept seeing the results, and I tried to trade myself without getting the signals during the day, but I kept messing up really. I'd win and then I'd lose, and then I'd have trades on for days on end. And then in December, I saw Malcolm. He was killing it. He was making loads of money, and I thought, oh, look at Malcolm. Everybody else is saying trading's no good in December. And then in January, I think 3 or 4 other companies that I know of all made losses. But Malcolm didn't. He made a really good profit in January. And I said to myself, well, that's it then. I'm going to have to go back to getting his signals, and somehow I'm going to have to put them on. So I came back and I got the signals, and I was still having the same issues. 7 till 9 was like chaotic. And I was getting to work, running up the stairs, trying to get my computer on so that I could do it all. And anyway, I just decided that, you know, maybe I wasn't winning as many as I should because I couldn't do the trades. And I said one day in the group something like, oh yeah, it would have been great if I weren't driving round a roundabout. And Malcolm said, well, you won't have to worry next week because we're going to get a robotic system going. And I thought, hallelujah, I couldn't believe it. Right place, right time. And well, I just signed up straight away. I couldn't wait to get going with it. And I think, I don't know, are we in our second week, Malcolm? I think we are.
Yeah, we're in the second week, aren't we?
Yeah, we're in the second week, but you know, it's been absolutely fantastic. And you know, you can't resist looking. I know, because I'm trading myself at the same time, so I am using Malcolm's signals when I can to trade on my own platform as well. But you know, I can't always do it, and so it's such a good feeling when he says market execution, and I just think, oh, go on, Malcolm, you sort that one out because I can't. And I know, you know, when he wins, I look and I think, well, that was just fabulous because I didn't have no stress. I wasn't worried about it, and there's money there at the end of the day. But the temptation is to look, and if you knew, I would say to you, don't be logging in and looking during the day, you know, constantly, because you'll just get yourself worked up and stressed if you see it's in drawdown, which is negative. I'd just leave it to Malcolm and just check it at the end of the day, or keep your eye on the group and see what's being said. And more often than not, you know, he's done and dusted for about 12 o'clock, aren't you? And the money's made, and you can chill out, you know. But today was a bit of a day where I must admit, me and my son were watching that DAX, and we were so frustrated because we were like, oh, for God's sake, because I think 3 times it was testing that point, and we were convinced it weren't going to come down. But, you know, Malcolm, it did, and your patience paid off, and I can't say enough good things about you, that you actually knew that, you know, it was going to come down and make us lots of money. So, brilliant.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done, Tracy.
That was really excellent. You know, me and my naivety, when I first started this, I assumed everybody was like me, sitting in front of a computer all day. I didn't realise that people went to work and were driving around roundabouts. But when you put it in those words, it made me realise how imperfect the system was when I originally started. Because, you know, I mean, I'm not the only person doing trading signals. Trading signals have been around for quite a while now. But there was a lot of people just like Tracy who were missing out on most of the signals because they were driving, traveling, working or something. And so for those of you who are here on the webinar tonight, this robotic copy trading service has been available now to our members for 5, 6, 7, 8 days.
Wow.
So you're in the right place at the right time.
Malcolm, can I just ask a question? Can I just ask a question? Sorry.
Who's asking the question?
Satish.
Yes, Satish, go on, from Warrington.
How did you develop your skills?
Good question. Do you know what? The skills that I've got, I know that certain skills, you've got to go to...
He's stubborn. He's stubborn.
You'll have to excuse my Icelandic friend. He speaks a foreign language. What was that, Harold?
Yeah, your skills. You're so stubborn. You can't give up.
Stubborn. Oh, no, yes, you have to be stubborn. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the skills that I learned in life was a result of me coming to Spain. Because I came to Spain, I'm not going to give you my property details like I've told you before, how I started my property business with £20 and became very successful. But when you live in Spain, you might have heard from people that, and if you haven't, I'll tell you something, that the worst thing about being in Spain is unless you come with some money, there's no work and you're not going to make an income. If you come with some money, and you do like many people, which is start a bar or a restaurant, you're probably going to lose all of it.
Right.
So when, you know, you've heard that expression, when you burn your bridges, you've got no alternative, have you? So I burnt my bridges when I came over here. I wanted to stay. I didn't want to go back to the UK. I thought that's the last thing I'm going to do. I want to stay here. So you just have to make it work. And I did that with my property business. I was employing 164 staff, built a multi-million-pound business, was recommended by the best in Spain in a very competitive market. And, you know, and I did that with a £20 startup capital. So I learned a lot of skills in the property market. That didn't work to start with. Didn't work at all. No aspect of it worked. But within 3 years, I was living a millionaire lifestyle. And I think a business takes about 3 years. This might not take 3 years, actually. But I think you've got to prepare yourself for 3 years, because it's going to take you 3 years before you've got your skills together, your attitude together, your confidence together, your cash flow together, and before you understand the business that you're involved in. And most people, when they start any kind of self-employment or business, they have no skills, they have no money, they have no understanding, and yet they want to make money today. And if they don't make money by next week, they're going to pack it all in. And all they do, they keep repeating this process over and over and over and over and over again, and they never make money. And by the time they've realized what's happened, 10 or 20 years have gone by and they still haven't made any progress. So that was what I gained by coming to Spain. I burnt my bridges. And I learned from that, and I applied that to this business, because this didn't work either. First of all, you know, I had to learn the skill of trading. I had to learn internet marketing skills. When I first started, I had a Hotmail account and nothing else. I didn't know autoresponders and web design and domains and internet marketing and Zooms and webinars, and that's a new language. So you've got to get all that. And like on here, for example, without blowing my own trumpet, who's got the best looking, Tracy's got a nice camera and Satish is. In fact, you've all got quite good cameras. But it's all about lighting. That's another thing that you learn. Having a good computer, having good lighting. It's all part and parcel of presenting yourself online. So answer to your question, Satish, where did I learn all this? I quickly learned that this wasn't as complicated as I thought it was.
So there's lots of people who trade. How would you describe yourself different to other people?
That's a good question.
Offering this kind of service.
I can answer that.
Go on.
I'll tell you what, in my opinion, people do wrong. First of all, they try to make too much money too quickly.
Yes.
You can write a list of things. They try to make money too quickly. They don't practice on a demo account for long enough. You know, if you have to practice on a demo account for 2 years, does it matter if you can develop some skills? But people don't want to learn the skills. They want to go straight to the income. So all that becomes is another story. Oh, I tried trading, but it didn't work for me. Or I tried network marketing and it didn't work for me. Just another example of how they try something for 10 minutes or 10 days, and because they don't become a millionaire, it's not going to work. So you need to, if somebody wants to learn to trade, they've got to forget making any money. Like in any business, the money will come when you're ready to make some money. You've got to learn some skills first before you're going to make any money. But people want the money before they get the skills. And that applies to most people. So you've got to stop chasing the money. You've got to practice on a demo account, even if it takes you 2 years. You've got to be prepared to place thousands of trades. You know, how long does it take to become a maestro at playing the piano? Does it take 10 weeks, 10 months? And how many hours does it take? We all want to play the piano, but have we got thousands of hours to practice? No. In fact, we all get to that age, don't we now, where we think, blimey, time's running out. I better start. Exactly right. So this problem gets worse and worse because we're getting older.
Yes.
So if we're already impatient, the problem is we become increasingly impatient as we get older, which makes it even harder. The other thing they do is they overtrade. And what do I mean by that? Well, they might place a few trades in the morning, make some money, and think, oh, this is great, I'll place some more. They might make some more money, so they go and place some more, and then they lose a bit. Then they try and get that back, and then they go and lose that. And by the time they finish, they've had a horrible day, simply because they've overtraded. What's the next thing? They trade too many instruments. You know, on a stage where you sometimes see people spinning plates, if you could develop the ability to spin a plate, if you could develop an ability to spin a plate, would you be happy spinning one plate and focusing on one plate, or would you like to have to spin 20 plates all at the same time? Well, logically, it'd be better off trying to focus on trying to get one going.
Yeah.
But they come into Forex and they've got, you know, 7 or 8 things on the go at the same time. They've got a small account, they're trading everything that goes, and what's going to happen then? They're going to get nervous, worried, so they're going to say, oh, I better close that one. Exactly. Yeah, Rod's doing an impersonation there. I'll close that one. Oh, I better close that one as well. Oh, that one's making some money, so I'll open another one of them. Oh, no, I better close that one. Oh, no, look what's happened. They go from one trauma to the next. So it's an emotional journey of up and down until they can't take it anymore, and they just pack the whole exercise in and say, well, at least I tried it. So that's the journey of a trader. That's the journey of a trader. So what Trace is saying is, why would anybody want to put themselves through that?
Yeah.
When I've already done it. Now, I have to say, in fact, I should have said it before we start, that past performance is no future indicator of future results.
No.
Only trade with what you can afford to lose. But I believe that with today's economy and technology being what it is, you know, more and more people are going to find themselves without work, without income, and time's running out for many, many people. And it's all right for these people saying, oh, well, I don't do Facebook, and I don't do technology, and I don't have this, and I don't have that, and I don't like internet marketing, and I don't like buying things online. You know, there's no choice in the matter, because if they don't, they're going to go broke.
Yeah.
So it's quite clear. They've got some skills to learn. With our business, they don't need many skills. They just need a few skills. And I can do the trading for them with their permission, and we can make some progress.
Malcolm, in answer to your question, and this is a bit outside of what we're doing, but I have funded my account.
Oh, there you go. Let's round up.
Yes, I did it yesterday.
Did you know? Oh, yes. Oh,
yes.
Well, you could have made some money then today, couldn't you? But if you'd have let me know, we could have had you in the system.
I did. I messaged you. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Because I've just looked at the message now. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, at the end of the webinar, I'll see if I can get you connected.
Yeah.
Everybody who's paid for the robot is now connected. Everybody. With the exception of you, Joel. We did have your conversation, didn't we? Exactly. Okay, well, that was a good question, Satish. Where did I learn my trading? I'm self-taught.
Right.
And I think sometimes I wouldn't like to fly in an aeroplane where the pilot's been self-taught. There's certain things that you can't teach yourself, but when it comes to playing the piano or learning to trade, these are sort of examples where you can teach yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
There's lots of things you can teach yourself, and trading is just one of those.
Okay.
Any other questions? I'm a people person, to be honest. I don't put money first, I put people first.
You seem like that kind of person.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I found this from experience. We all think that, you know, oh, wouldn't it be nice when you're a millionaire? Wouldn't it be nice if I've got this or that? But you find that it's the journey going from where you start to where you think it's all at that's the most enjoyable part. That might be a bit of a challenge and you might have some things to learn, but looking back, that was the most enjoyable part. And we've got to embrace.
That's because you've always got hope, you see.
Exactly. When it's all in place, you know,
yeah,
no big deal, is it really? So we've got to embrace the learning curve, because we're all on a learning curve. We're all on one of those. Some are a bit higher, but we're all trying to do that.
So are you available most of the time for help if people need help? And
At the moment.
Yeah, at the moment.
Yeah. But you won't need too much help, to be honest.
No, no.
Tracy will point you in the right direction.
Sure.
Now she's full-time. Does that mean you're full-time now then, Tracy? I'm hoping that's a yes.
She's on mute.
Well, I do have my own businesses where I get internet orders, so I do have to get them ready at some point during the day. But where my unit is, there's very little Wi-Fi, so I find I can't watch my phone because it's not got a connection if I have it near me. So that's another issue. So now I'm like trying to get to my unit, do my orders, and get back so that I can get the trading done. So yeah, it seems to have taken over my life at the moment. But anyway, I'm enjoying it, and that's the main thing, isn't it?
Exactly, exactly. It's nice when you find something that sort of seems to do the job and is within your capacity.
Yeah.
I think what I'll do, I'll share my. Ranul, he's got his hand up. Do you have a question, Ranul?
It's a question, probably rather tongue-in-cheek, Malcolm. A bit of succession planning I was thinking about for the business, as in, would you be willing to teach the trading, even though you're self-taught? Would you be willing to teach others because they want to put pressure on you? Obviously, all the results are down to you.
Well, I tell you what, we were having a conversation earlier today, and if I can quote the conversation that we had, Ranul is interested, and in fact, he's had success with a small property portfolio. I say small, not that small. He's got quite a number of properties, but he was telling me about a guru that he knows very well, who charges £20,000 to come and learn how to build a property portfolio. If I can charge £20,000 a time, yes, I will do that. No problem at all.
So
I'll go on mute then, shall I?
Say again?
I'll just go on mute then, shall I?
No, but it did get me thinking. When you told me that, I thought, £20,000? Oh, I might do that.
Do it for £19,000.
Yeah. What I'd like to know is, where do you find these people that are prepared to spend £20,000? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And
a lot of cash.
yeah, professional speakers, they do. I mean, they get £20,000 just to go to a venue to speak. So they are out there, definitely. Money can be made.
I actually like talking in front of an audience. I like that. But getting people to pay 20,000, I've got no personal experience of that, I must admit.
And there is one other thing in this, and that is it's very difficult to teach how to control your nervous system when you start to use money in this. That's totally another story.
Another story, yeah. It's an emotional journey that is the biggest problem. I mean, like today, for example, we could have closed those trades. In fact, they were left open from yesterday sometime.
Yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning. That's right. So we had them all yesterday. It's been a really, really slow market, really flat, going sideways. And when it's a flat market and going sideways, I don't like to be doing any trading because it's boring for one thing. Secondly, it's not very profitable and it could go either way. But I believe the trades that we got on were the right trades because, well, for a number of reasons, it was just a question of waiting. And we had a number of trades that did very, very well. And what we could have done, we could have placed some more trades, but I also knew that it would reverse. And it did do. So the money that Tracy made today, if I'd have been greedy, I'd have put some more trades on and Tracy would have either made half what she made or none at all. So it's also knowing when to get in, when to get out, when to call it a day, and when to persist, and when not to persist. This is a very powerful thing, all on the click of a mouse. What a simple business, eh? One of these.
All that power in your mouse, say, Malcolm.
You know what? I mean, you might think I'm fairly good with technology. I've not had one of these for that long, you know. I bet you've all had one of these far longer than I have. I bet you have. Because when I bought this, a friend of mine had got an iPhone, and I told him, I said, I'm going to take it back. I said, because this is a load of nonsense. I thought it was just hype. So he said, well, if you don't want your iPhone, he said, I'll buy it off you because I think I've got 128 megabytes on there, and he got, is it 56? So he said, if you don't want it, I'll buy it. Anyway, I must have learned a few things with it. And now that phone has changed my life. So I had a steep learning curve with this, like we all did, but I've not had that phone that long, I must admit. You probably think I've been living in a cave, but I didn't want a phone because I used to have that many phones, but I used to have the phones when they were the cheap ones.
Can I just say as well, the other day I was messaging Malcolm and it was round about lunchtime and he responded straight away. And we were talking about setting my robot up and various things, Jake and what have you. And then at the end of the conversation, he said, oh, I won't be able to do it till I get back home. I'm out having my lunch. So he actually broke off from having his lunch to answer my questions, which were about, 6 or 7, and probably took him about 15 minutes. And I thought, wow, Malcolm, you're a star. Because most people wouldn't have even responded and said, oh, it's just Tracy P. I'll deal with her later. She's mithering me.
I don't like that. I like to be treated.
And I thought, well, you know what? That's what you want from somebody, don't you? I'm the same. I tend to respond to my customers.
Yeah.
But I was well impressed with you, Malcolm.
Well, thank you. I like to treat people with importance and treat them with respect and be treated in return with respect. That's it. Treat people as you want to be treated yourself. Who else have we got? Have a few words, Harold. Harold's from Iceland. He can tell you all about the Aurora Borealis and everything else you want to know about Iceland.
There is no snow outside now.
Is there not?
No snow. But I have maybe a similar story like Tracy. I just started to have a look at this the whole January, and I decided to wake up every morning and have a look. But sometimes I had to run out the kids to school and things like that. So I was missing few signals here and there, and it was a little bit frustrating. But now that has been fixed with the robotic system. So, and today I did one trade on my own that went good because the price was at the top. So it's 99% likely that it will fall from the top. So it was quite easy. So that's one kind of a strategy. Just when it's at the top, it will fall. So yeah, it has been a learning curve. I was trying to do this 4 years ago. I gave up. I started to have I found you on the internet last year and started to have a little look on what you were doing. But late last year, I started to have more look in there, but without taking any actions. But on the beginning of January, I decided to buy the signals from you and do all the signals as much as I could. Yeah, I wanted to prove that you were doing nonsense.
Oh, why not?
But they all turned out to be very good.
Thank you. And in the short time that you've been registered, you've been building a little team as well.
Yeah. A few of my friends are starting to join now. I think we have one here. I think Markerson is on here. He's been trading for a while. I know.
I think
he's a friend of mine.
About eight black accounts.
Maybe? Yeah.
8, 9, 10 black accounts. So for those of you who don't know what a black account is where you fund it with a minimum of 5,000 as a single payment. And Harold has got probably 10 people in his team now that have all funded their accounts with 5,000.
Yes.
So those people who've got at least 5,000 in their account, they've all made £500 today.
Yes, they have.
It's all very nice. Some people have made more than 1,000 today. Some people have made 1,500 today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better get me connected then, Malcolm.
They haven't made 1,500 with £1,000 account, mind you. But
no, I know. I understand that.
But they've all made 10%. So, you know, if they've got 5,000, they've made about 500.
Give me a chance. Give me a chance.
I always say, as you've heard me say, it's not how much you start with that matters, it's what you do with that matters, and stick at it. You've got to. We need to be having this conversation this time next year. Because if we're not having this conversation this time next year, then somehow we've failed.
Malcolm, did I hear you say yesterday that if you have 5,000 in an account and you leave it in there and it goes up by 1% a day, in a year you'd have £1 million?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking that okay.
And if you're not sure about that, just get a calculator and a spreadsheet.
Well, strangely, I started to do it today. I got up to week 20. I think I was on something like 14,000 quid. But it's the rapid rise is in the back few weeks, isn't it? Exactly. 30 to 50, isn't it? Rather than 1 to 20.
Yes, exactly. It's slow initially, but it gathers momentum. Yeah. And there are programs, there are websites on the internet you can look for compound interest compound calculator type thing.
Yeah, I found one. It must be me doing something wrong because it didn't give me the number that I was expecting at the end. But
I'll see if I can find one. I used to use one at one time, and you'd be absolutely amazed. You can put in any kind of number, click the mouse, and it will tell you specifically if you take out, let's say, 20% per month, every month, how much will you have in 6 months or 12 months or 18 months?
Okay.
You'd be absolutely amazed.
I'm very hopeful. That's all I can say.
Yeah, well, I mean, isn't that the same with property? I mean, you start off with one property, it creates some equity, and you borrow against that, and you get another one, and same principle. Money makes money if you've got a good system.
Correct.
That's all it is. I think that, I mean, look at McDonald's, for example. There could be nothing simpler than selling burgers and fries. But one of the most successful companies in the world, because they've got a system and people are prepared to spend £1 million to go and stick a burger place on the roundabout.
Yeah.
The system, they're buying a system, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what our members are buying. They're buying a system, a turnkey system.
I'll use my trading money and go and buy McDonald's next year.
Sorry?
I'll use the trading money and go and buy McDonald's next year. And have a party there. Everybody can come and have a party at my McDonald's.
Why have the hassle if you're making that much money?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And in fact, Malcolm, we've had that conversation about property, haven't we?
Exactly. That just reminded me. Yeah, definitely. I love the property business. Really, really, especially Spanish property. But it's a lot of work, and you need the staff, and then people cheat and steal and rob and all that kind of thing. I don't want any staff. I mean, having had them, they're a liability.
Yeah.
They don't want the money. They don't want to put any effort in, and you can't trust anybody. So, as you know, if you've employed anybody, and then if you want to dismiss them, they take you to court.
Yeah.
That's an old-fashioned business. Who's Steph? We've got Steph down there. Does anybody know Steph?
Yes, Steph has been writing a few questions there.
Oh, was it? Well, let's answer his question.
Yeah.
We're getting carried away.
I think it's a lady, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
What happens if you're sick?
Keith,
Oh dear.
can you mention the website once again, please? The website is www.globitwealthacademy.com. I'll put that in the chat box.
Mail. Last time I looked.
What was that? What was that?
It says here for the chat board.
Oh, sorry about that. I said
Yeah.
that Steph was a female, and obviously is a male. Sorry, Steph.
All right.
I do apologise. It's Stefan, right? Okay.
It's your Yorkshire humour.
I know. Thank you.
Actually, Harold tells me that the Icelandic people have similar humour to the English people.
Oh,
Yeah, we do.
Is that what you said? So, right. So that's the globitwealthacademy.com. From Steph again. Is it correct that you cannot start the robotic service with less than 1,000? Can we start with 500?
Stefan, do you not have a microphone?
Maybe shy.
Well, I'm going to answer that question.
No problem.
When I trade on my master account, I'm trading one lot for every 1,000. And that's what gets replicated on your accounts. So take Tracy again as an example. If she's got 5,000 on her account and I'm trading one lot for every 1,000, that means when the trades get replicated on her account, she'll get trades with 5 lots. Now, if someone's got 500, would that be half a lot? And the answer is no, because when you're trading indices, the minimum trade is one lot. Okay. Now, if anybody's got any experience of trading Forex, you can trade with what they call mini lots. And a mini lot is less than a lot. And a mini lot is 0.1 or 0.2 or 0.3 or 0.4 or 0.5. Anything between 0.1 and 0.9 is a mini lot, but we don't have mini lots with indices. So if anybody opens an account with 500, you're going to miss all the trades when they come through because you haven't got sufficient to trigger the trade. Okay, so you basically need upwards of 1,000. Okay, that's that question. Steph again, good questions. What happens when you are sick? It means none of you make any money. But fortunately, I was telling Harold, I went to the doctors the other day. This is not a joke, it's true. I had a blood test and the other kind of test that you sometimes have. And they told me, the doctor told me, she said, your kidneys are very, 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 very good. Your cholesterol is very, 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 very good. and your heart is also very, very good. She said, your heart is better than mine. So I said, is there anything? No, she said, very, very good. So for the time being, my health is very, 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 very good. All right.
I told my friends that, and that day I signed up 5 new. I told him to stay at home and let them bring the grocery to his house.
Do you know what? I won't tell you my real age, but I act as if I'm 21, but that's not a bad thing. Right, Steph. Defo male. Last time I looked, Stefan. Oh yes, definitely a male. Very nice. Well, I'll take your word for that, Stefan. I know Tracy and Rod from Facebook. Headset knackered. Does that mean anything?
Yeah. I can't think who it is.
Yeah, he has no microphone, I asked.
Yeah.
And then Joel was saying, yes, Joel, you don't have time to get sick. No. Well, to be honest, if people didn't overwork themselves, and I certainly don't, you're probably not going to get sick. But the reason most people get sick is because they work too hard. And I like to be finished by about 10 o'clock.
We drink Kangen water.
Oh, Kangen water. Very
yes.
Nice. That's excellent. So that's what you do. That's what you do, Rod, is it? Kangen water?
That's how you, well, I haven't done it for a while. I have a machine, Tracy does.
Yeah.
Randall.
Kangen water and healthy lifestyles.
Definitely.
Good nutrition.
Exactly.
Because if we're going to make lots of money, we need to live not just a long life, a healthy life. Because we don't want to be in a nursing home, do we? While we're
But you know, that's a pharmacist talking.
Yeah, exactly.
You must see all the people coming in with all the medication.
Well, I used to. Well, I don't take a single drug. I don't have a tablet for anything. No aches and pains, but I do take a lot of supplements, and I always have done. And I can't, I can't.
Well, I'm the same.
Enough, really.
You know, my parents are in the 90s. They don't take any medication.
Wow,
They both drive. In fact, Dad it was his birthday about 3 days. He was 93.
That's
they both
amazing.
drive. They don't take any medication. They both read the newspaper, and they go shopping.
That's amazing.
And
I know so many people in the 50s now. They just don't even make it to 60, and it's all due to really the lifestyle and what they eat and what they drink, and it's sad, really. But
anyway, this is a trading webinar, not a health webinar.
But anyway, we're all going to get healthy and enjoy your skills, Malcolm. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and don't forget,
we don't need the stress.
We're all going to be We're all going to be traveling as well, because if you're trading and making money and working less hours, you're going to be traveling.
I've got a dream board with a motorhome on it, and I'm thinking I could be in that motorhome before I know it, going around Europe.
Fantastic.
Malcolm making me my wage.
I thought you were going to say Malcolm making your tea.
I could always drop in. I don't know where you are, but I'm sure I could drive there.
Oh yeah, I like a nice motorhome. Yeah, I don't know if I'd like to live in one permanently, but driving a nice motorhome. They do make some nice motorhomes these days.
I know.
And get you on build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in no rush. Next year will do, Rod.
We'll get you one sorted.
Don't we have a positive spirit amongst us? We're all positive-minded people. That's fantastic.
Yeah. I'm off to Alicante for a beer.
There you go.
Exactly. Well, you're very welcome. What we have to do, we'll have to start having meetings, maybe in Spain or maybe in the UK. Let's see if we can get 100 people in a venue and grow it. Who's this person down here? Is that one of yours, Hal? Margie?
Marger, do you have a microphone?
Let me just answer this question again. So Steph, further to that question regarding the 1,000 minimum, can we still join and do the trades manually with a £500 starting account? As for many, the 1,000 is out of reach for the robot. Yes, you can. You can trade the signals with a £500 starting account. But what I would suggest is if you've got 500, get started and start building a team. Because, if you get serious about this and attend all the webinars and get your contacts to come and attend the webinars, then, you can soon be making 2,000 or 3,000 a month from team commissions. Team commission.
We need some venues. Venues.
I don't know about venues. You know, this Zoom thing will accommodate 1,000 people. 1,000 people. So that's what I would do if you haven't got much to start with. Focus on building a team, because if you make 100% with 500, you're only making 500. Well, you can still be making 500 if you've got a team. So that's that. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to thank you all for attending. It's been great meeting you all. And for those who...
Sorry.
Go on, Harold.
Marker was going to open his microphone now. I called him.
All right.
I think he's unmuted now. Marker, can you hear us? Now it's muted again. Marker, can you unmute your microphone? No. Okay, there he is. Marker. He is unmuted, but we can't hear him. Anyhow, well, let's...
He's muted again.
Yeah, let's call it for tonight.
I can unmute him. Oh, I can't unmute him for some deaf reason. We've got Clive there sitting quiet. Have you got any questions, Clive? No, he's frozen again. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up if that's all right. I promise that I'm going to keep these webinars down to 60 minutes if at all possible. As I've mentioned, I don't do a PowerPoint presentation, although I do have one, because what I'd like you to do, if you're going to build a team, I'd like you to just use the tools, which is the Facebook group. That's where they get the tutorials. And if you go to announcements in the menu on the left-hand side, click announcements and go down to the ebook, you can send that ebook to other people. And let me just show you the ebook.
I sent that today. Yeah.
Okay, let me just show you what I'm talking about. This is how simple it can be. So I'm going to close these little things here. Just a second. So we're going to click on announcements. Okay, and we just scroll down to here's the ebook and click on the link. And of course, this is the link that you can copy and paste and send it to your contacts. Ask them, you know, do they want to create passive income on their mobile phone? Give it a chance to open. Okay, you can enlarge it if you like. So scroll down. This is what we should be talking about, the income disclaimer. We haven't really talked about incomes during the course of this webinar, but this ebook contains the opinions and ideas of its author. Nothing in this ebook should be construed as investment advice now from the author or trading partners contained herein. Under no circumstances does the information in this content represent a recommendation to buy, sell or hold any security. Unique experiences and past performances do not guarantee future results, etc., etc. So if you just scroll through this, I put all this ebook together based on my personal experiences. But as I found, most people don't want to know how to trade, they just want to create income. So there's a video that you can play that shows my results over 7 days. This,
Malcolm.
Yes.
Can you stop there? Right there. It says there USA traders only in blue. Because I was on this site with my friend. We went over and over and over again. We did not see this red one. Rest of the world, probably you should have this in blue too. We couldn't see it because we only, our eye did just grab USA traders only. Click here in blue.
Yeah, the good thing is, Harold, is now I've shown it to you, you'll be able to show it to other people. If I click on that, it takes you straight through to the correct registration page.
Yeah, I was just, if it would be in the same color, it will not go past your eye.
Yeah, possibly.
I'm not always on the shoulder of all my friends, so.
No. So that's the registration page.
Yeah. I found it at the end, but I went through there again and again and again, and I passed it because it was in red. So it just disappeared on the website there.
Yeah.
It's just an opinion of mine. So.
Yeah, I can see that. This is the commission, how you get paid. You get paid between £50 and £75 for every referral, down on limited levels. So if you have a team of 1,000 people, you're going to be generating a monthly income of £50,000 or more. And I've got software currently being designed that all I have to do is click the mouse and the commissions will go out to 10,000 people if necessary. And you'll also be able to log in and see your team wherever they might be in the world, see what you've earned and see what's in the pipeline. So that's all going to happen, you know, as soon as we get to that position. So it's all going to be fully automated. And this is the first thing they can do is click on the ebook to join the Facebook group. So they click on that and that takes them straight through to the Facebook group, and they can obviously click on the units in the menu and watch those video tutorials, which is what I recommend to do. And scrolling down, this is what we call GLOBIT. I think that's a good name for it. Exactly. GLOBIT, you can see GLOBIT. This is our robotic copy trading service. Turn your phone into a fully automated cash generator. All trades are copied robotically from our master account and traded on your live account. Typically, each trade is 1 lot per 1,000 on your account, and this is completely hands-free. And I believe that today, that's what people are looking for. It requires no skill. The only skill they require is to be able to follow the steps in these following pages. So the first step, they've got to register their 15-day trial. So they click on that and make payment with PayPal, or if they haven't got a PayPal account, they can register here by clicking here. It's in Spanish, but don't worry about that. I think if you're in the UK, you will probably read it as English. So if you've got a PayPal account, click here, or if you haven't, click there, and that will automatically register you with a PayPal account. And that's to set up your trial. It's £15 for the 15-day trial, so that's like £1 a day. Then it's a £90 payment for the following month, and then it's £180 a month thereafter, okay? And then once you've done that, make sure you fill out these 2 forms. Form, what we call Form A. And to complete Form A, you need your full name, your email, your mobile phone, the name of your introducer. So if it was Tracy Peake, you'd put Tracy Peake. If it was Harold Ollison, you'd put Harold Ollison. And also, you need to put the username of your introducer, so they will give you their username. And you'll also need to create a username. And then just click Start 15-day trial. So that's what we call Form A. Form B is quite similar, but it's essential that you fill it out, because if you don't fill it out and you build a team, you won't get paid any commission. So if we don't know who you are, how can we pay anybody? So it's first name, surname, email, PayPal, mobile phone, Skype username if you've got one, it's not essential. WhatsApp, you've probably got WhatsApp, so put your WhatsApp phone number in there. Country of residence. I always mention that if you're in the US or you're in Belgium, you'll need to register an account with FX Choice. All the other countries, you register with BD Swiss. Choose a username, put the name of your introducer there, put their username just there, click submit. And then if you want to upgrade to the robot, it's a payment of £90 plus £20 monthly. So effectively that's £110 to get started and £20 a month thereafter. Same again, click on the PayPal and make that payment. Once you've paid to upgrade for the robot, you need to complete forms C, D, and E. Let's have a quick look. So this is Form C. Okay, similar information, your full name, your email, your mobile phone, the username which you've used previously, and just confirm here that you've registered with either BD Swiss or FX Choice, and just put here how much did you fund your live account with, okay? and click Add My Account to the Robotic Trading Service. Form D is similar to what we looked at before, but it's a different form. Robotic Copy Trading Approval and Connection. I can't connect you on the robot if you don't complete this accurately, and I can't connect you. So if you want to avoid delay, make sure it's completed accurately. So first name, surname, email, phone number, country of residence, confirm whether it's BD Swiss or FX Choice, what is your live MT4 account number, and what's your live MT4 account password. All has to be totally accurate. If it's lowercase, use lowercase. If it's capitals, use capitals. What is the server name for your live account? That needs to be entered accurately. If you're not sure, just contact BD Swiss customer support. They'll tell you all the information you need. And finally, Form E, this needs to be completed. And here, you're going to be a follower, and you're going to put your email, your full name, your date of birth, home address, which country, how many years at the address. This is part of the KYC process. Employment status, you might be self-employed, retired, or whatever. Your phone number, click I agree to the terms and conditions, and I agree to the privacy policy, and click register. This is already set up in many different languages. We've got Chinese, English, German, Spanish, etc. So this is already geared for an international audience. And that's all anybody has to do. So make those payments, fill out those 5 forms, and if you can get other people to do that and start building a team, then you're going to start earning monthly residual commissions as well as all your team profits. So I hope you've seen opportunity. It's great to meet you all. Do bring your guests next time. So these webinars are going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Encourage people to have their camera on. Encourage them to communicate with me, because that's what it's all about. Get to know the owner, ask any questions, and encourage them all to get started, because effectively it's a £15 risk. I don't know any business you can start with just £15. This is quite unique, and everyone's making money provided they take action. So there we go. So thank you very much. If anybody wants to stay on at the end of this, I'm going to be here for a few questions, but I'm going to close the meeting. I'm going to stop recording, and I'll stay on just for a couple of minutes afterwards.